What's up, Raiders? It's Groovinator from raidersofthelostflicks.com, and here we've got Jason Statham made an abrupt exit from his new movie with Kevin Hart. This article coming from Cinebleh and written by Gina Carbone says that Jason Statham made two abrupt exits this week. He dropped out of The Man from Toronto with Kevin Hart just weeks before production was meant to start, and he also left with his agency WME. It's a career clearance sale. Wow. What's going on? Well, Jason Statham was supposed to star in the action comedy The Man from Toronto with Kevin Hart. Does every comedy have to have Kevin Hart in it? There's no other funny people that can do comedies now. It's always Kevin Hart, right? Okay. Well, with production starting in 4 to 6 weeks, according to Deadline, Sony wants to keep Kevin Hart in the movie, so the call is ready out to an actor not named, with the studio hopes to land quickly. Sony, they struggle so much, don't they? The part to replace is the Man from Toronto himself. Jason Statham was meant to play the world's deadliest assassin who teams up with New York's biggest screw-up, Kevin Hart, when they're mistaken from each other in a rented Airbnb. Whatever that is. All right. Why did Jason Statham drop out? Sources told Deadline the actor had some creative differences with the studio, including wanting the movie to be rated R. Sony reportedly wanted a PG-13 rating, more friendly to a November Thanksgiving holiday release date. You'll recall Jason Statham also had blunt thoughts about The Meg, with a PG-13 rating instead of the more bloody R-rated version he hoped for. And yes, as much as I love The Meg, I agree with Jason Statham here. The Meg would have benefited greatly from committing to an R rating and being a lot darker than it was. It was a good movie, but it could have been better. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they'll heed that advice if they make a sequel to it. Jason Statham also left WME right after the exiting The Man from Toronto. Deadline reported that it was a mutual decision between WME and Statham, which is a bit of a surprise since WME lured him away from CAA just last year. Jason Statham was expecting to film The Man from Toronto right after Cash Truck, the Guy Ritchie movie that started filming in November. Now what? We'll see. The Man from Toronto would have been a reunion for Jason Statham and Kevin Hart after Hart's surprise role in The Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. Hart is back at work after his major car accident, and this movie is still expected to be on schedule provided Sony can find somebody new fast enough. I suggest Dwayne Johnson, but he might be busy with Netflix's Red Notice, his new movie with Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds. But The Rock can do 9 million things at once, and he does love action comedies with Kevin Hart, so you never know. Kevin Hart also has the movie Fatherhood scheduled for the release of January 2021 after taking over the role from Channing Tatum, so maybe Tatum can make his come full circle and replace Jason Statham, although that's not quite a matching replacement, is it? The Man from Toronto is reportedly scheduled for release on November 20, 2020. Wow. So we'd have to see if he keeps that date or not. Since No Time to Die just moved into that week, I'll say Kevin Hart's action comedy, but that's me. It sounds like the studio might be ready to have an actor in mind, but who would you pick to replace Jason Statham? Don't really care. I wanted to comment mostly on the November movie season. It seems to me that part of the problem with the movies, other than being, overinflated budgets for no reason, and having too many movies come out at once. They used to do this in the summer, but now they're pushing everything into November because when Star Wars came out, it made all of the money in the universe, and they figure, okay, well, people have time off for the holidays, so they're going to go see movies, right? That's partially true, they do, but there's only so many movies that people can see. Most people I know see about 4 movies a year, and I guarantee probably about 2 or 3 of those are going to be superhero movies. So something like a Kevin Hart and Jason Statham or Kevin Hart and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movie is probably not going to attract all the attention. Also, why the R rating? Why the PG-13 rating, I should say? I think studios have a tendency to look at things too analytically and not metaphorically. You know, the reason Birds of Prey and Terminator Dark Fate failed was not because they were rated R. They failed because they were bad movies and because they were full of preachy partisan politics, okay? If you just had a good movie and committed to your R rating, people will show up. You know, Joker didn't even have a Chinese release date, and it did fantastically with an R rating. So, something like The Meg or something like this movie being rated R, I'm taking Jason Statham's side. I mean, I might be slightly biased because I'm a big Jason Statham fan. I have a lot of his movies on Blu-ray, but also I think we need to go back to embracing the R-rated movie model. I think we need to take a few more risks with our movies and stop doing the PG-13 business model, because you're already telling your audience, like, this is going to be bland and boring, and we want to have as many people in our theater as possible, so this is not going to be very fun. It's only going to be this much fun. You know what I mean? I've seen PG-13 movies that can do a lot under that rating, but you have to be really, really good at what you do. You know, not everybody is that good. Anyways, what do you think about this? Leave a comment down below. Kind of a short one today. Next video I'm going to make is I'm going to do a retrospective, my favorite movies of the past decade. I'm going to get that video out this week at some point. It's just, I'm going to cover probably 5. You know, I do everything in 5s because I don't want to bore you guys to death. But also, make sure you check back this weekend. We'll be reviewing a movie called Laser Mission. Well, not really reviewing it. We're just going to mostly be riffing it. But you can watch that movie with us. Just be on the website. I play it right through the window, and you can watch it with us. It's Brandon Lee's first movie, and spoiler alert, it's not as good as The Crow. Okay, so make sure you're there for that. I'm going to try to go see The Way Back at some point this week. And then, of course, this weekend, I'm going to be reviewing The Hunt. So make sure you subscribe for more content if you haven't done so already. And hit that like button on the way out if you could. You guys have yourselves a groovy day. And this is the Groovinator signing out. Peace.